Kentucky, Saturday night, 8:30 p.m. normal live stream. How's it going out there tonight? Where you're at? It was a hot one here today, over 90 degrees, and all those 150,000, 200,000 people at the Louder Than Life. It had to be a lot unbearable, more unbearable than it was last week when we were at Bourbon and Beyond.
Mikey said hi, Sticker family.
How you doing, Mikey Arugula?
Greg Field says hi, Frank, and all
How you doing, Greg Field?
Little Beatles Corner says hi, Frank and friends.
How you doing, Patricia?
T-shirt says hi, everybody.
Polly,
I'm in the house.
T-shirt Express. We're gonna give a
shirts?
A shirt away that Polly made at T-shirt Express in Staten Island. In a little bit with a trivia question.
Polly says hi, everyone. I Am Wars says hey, and Jeff Cooley said howdy, Frank.
How you doing, Jeff Cooley?
So we got a lot in there. Appreciate it.
So there was 170 bands for the 4 days at Louder Than Life there at the Kentucky Expo Fairgrounds. Some of the main bands: Slayer, Avenged, Sevenfold, in ICP. My son will know more about them. Yeah. Insane Clown Posse. Marilyn Manson. I saw a few of his videos the other day. Deftones is the main band tonight, and Rob Zombie performed 2 nights ago.
That's what everybody was going for, I'm sure. And then Dave Evans said hi to Frank and Sticker family.
How you doing, Dave Evans?
And T-shirt said love you guys for giving away one of his shirts.
All right. The first show that's going on right now in Mikey Arugula's neck of the woods, Chapel Roan, is going on right now at the Forest Hills Tennis Stadium in Queens, New York. She's playing there the next 4 nights, sold out every night. She should be going on about right now. And then in a few hours, we're going to have Bob Dylan was added to the Farm Aid in Minneapolis. He goes on at 9:30 local time. Bob Dylan is going to perform for, it looks like, for a little over a half hour before Neil Young comes on. And then Willie Nelson comes on the late shift. Willie Nelson and Family is the last one at 11 p.m. They extended the concert because of Bob Dylan suddenly said he'd perform, I guess, just a few days ago.
The I Am Wars wants to know when the next live is with Mikey and what's your favorite
Mikey Arugula, when can we do the next live stream? A week from Wednesday, is that good? Into October?
And then your favorite Beatles song.
Favorite Beatles song's gotta be She Loves You. Yeah. It seems like it's stuck at the top right now.
Thomas Crook said hello, Frank and Travis.
How you doing, Thomas Crook? What's going on with you?
Mikey said yes.
Yes, a week from Wednesday, me and Mikey will have Every Little Thing Beatles episode number 12. We'll have to come up with a theme. Check out Mikey Arugula's latest 28-minute video on Joe Mayo's channel. Boxing with Mikey Arugula.
I Am Wars said my favorite right now is The Two of Us and Words of Love.
Words of Love, that's a Buddy Holly song, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't get what they were talking about on that one. And then Greg Field, The Who at Hollywood Bowl last night was amazing.
Yeah, that is the Who tour completely over with now. The Oasis should be done in the United States. I think they're going to do Mexico City. And the Who should be done, and they're ready for Paul McCartney's tour, Got Back Tour Part 2. So this is can you imagine that this album, Blonde on Blonde, came out basically the same time the Butcher cover came out. And it's got the Claudia Cardinale that didn't get permission to be on the gatefold, and they had to take her out of there real quick on the second pressings. But this is the very first pressing. Bob Dylan, June of 1966. The same time the Butcher cover was, the debacle happened in the United States. That's 1966 January. KYA beat from San Francisco with Bob Dylan on the cover.
Greg Field said Brian Keehee have a best job in the world keyboard tech for the Who. I see you sold his book recording the Beatles score.
Yeah, I sold that. Yeah, that was sold. That hardback book, I'm pretty sure, sold for around $400.
Yeah, no, I had to send that out.
Got a new Butcher cover. We're talking about Butcher covers. Got a new peeled in today. West Coast. The ones that I can't perfect, and they're almost impossible to do now. West Coast. I can open it. Number 6, LA. Look at those natural colors. You see part of the bench down there under John Lennon. And their faces, no flaws at all on that peel. Beautiful peel. I'll be taking that November 6th at the, you want to show that? Every little thing, every Fab4Fest.com celebrates the Beatles Rubber Soul November 6th through the 8th at Ashbury Park, New Jersey. And we got hotel reservations, and the hotel is all sold out of rooms now. Berkeley Oceanfront Hotel. It is put on by Dr. Kenneth Womack. So thanks to Mikey Arugula, he's got us a designated display area where I'm going to show Butcher covers, Rubber Soul. Mikey's going to show some of his collection.
Little Beatles Quarter said, I think the McCartney tour shirts are still the same with new dates on the back. A bit disappointing.
Gotcha. So to show you the difference of the colors of the Butchers. That's the East Coast. This is the West Coast. See, there's a pretty big difference in tints. The East Coast has a purple hue added to it where the West Coast doesn't. And you don't see hardly any. You see a little bit of the space under the bench there on the East Coast, but you see more on the West Coast. All right, that's my Butcher cover. Second. Any questions out there tonight?
Mikey said, how much for the West Coast?
The West Coast Butcher cover, we will talk about that in New Jersey. Can't sell that until then. Not going to be cheap there, Mikey. What'd you think, Mikey, of that Easy Street Records of that Butcher cover that supposedly has a Butcher on one side and the trunk slick on the other side? It was a mistake. They put the trunk slick on the back side. I'd have to see it in person to see if you can see the normal. If you could see the normal Butcher cover on the back side, if you could see it through the trunk. There's got to be some of this dark that would bleed through the trunk slick. That'd be the way to prove if it's authentic or not. I saw that video you had there. That was pretty good.
I want that Easy Street Butcher. Love, love, love it.
Who's that?
What is he talking about? I guess he's talking about the West Coast Butcher, maybe?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he's talking about. Oh, no, he's talking about the one I just talked about. Where the Butcher cover is on one side.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I got you,
and
Mikey.
the trunk
We're
slicks on the other one. Mikey, you need to buy that and bring it to New Jersey. That would go great with our display. I'm working on PB Thal of getting the West Coast stereo salesman proof of the butcher cover, but we haven't come to a deal yet. PB Thal, Patrick, he's the one that owns it right now. He was on his live stream last night. I got on there and asked some questions, and Harry's Music Room was on there. I bought some stuff from Harry before. I bought a butcher cover from him before that I peeled. And he's got an Elvis live in Hawaii via a low from Hawaii via satellite, Elvis Presley from 1973. But he's got one in the shrink that has the rare Chicken of the Sea hype sticker on there that was only given away to a convention at the very first of Chicken of the Sea employees. And it's he's starting the bidding at $1,000, and he's already got 20 watchers on it in the first day. One of the rarest hype stickers I've ever seen in my life. The Elvis Hawaii via satellite that has the hype sticker for Chicken of the Sea on there, and it's also got the quadraphonic hype sticker, and it's got the title hype sticker on the back, all three of them.
Greg Field said, who won the first state West Coast auction?
It goes off sometime in the next week. That's all I'll say. I'm the high bidder on it right now. First state West Coast stereo. I'm the high bidder at $4,800. Say no more.
Danny Goldstein. Hi, folks. And then he's talking to him and Mikey, talking back and forth.
Danny's the one that I sent the.
No, that's Danny Costello.
Okay. All right.
That's the one in Texas. Danny, this one's the one in, I guess, New York and New Jersey, right over there.
Take the rest of the things off the table. Chapel, we talked about her performing right now in Mikey's neck of the woods, Forest Hill Stadium in Queens, New York. Tickets are being scalped for about $600 for general admission for tonight's show.
Little Beatles Corner said, I always learn stuff here from everybody. Thumbs up.
And Chaperone, the record store release of Pink Pony Club, it is in the top 20 again, thanks to her touring the United States right now. All right, put that over there. My other notes. Got this into yesterday. The second time in my life I've ever had a sealed Beatles box from Liverpool, late 1980. Perfect shape. Sealed. These things are almost impossible to come by, so I'll just hold on to it for a while. I think Patricia bought my last one I had that was, she said it was mostly near mint. She said a few of the records had some play on it. This one's never been opened up. Wonder if it's got the inverted version. Album 2 cover on there. I don't think I'm going to have the nerve to open it up. Got another perfect Rolling Stones, one of those classic records, 1969, first pressing. Original price tag, $3.60 from 1969. With the hype sticker for full color Rolling Stones, poster included. It's a bizarre album cover, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, Little Beatles Corner said, yes, I did.
Got the original inner sleeve, and it's got the poster. One time I had the poster from England that said Deco on the bottom. But most of the times I have the ones that say London on the bottom. Mick Taylor was, I think, 22 and just joined the group. He had lots of Rolling Stones, but Keith Richards kind of got jealous of his talent sometimes.
Greg Field said, meant to play those Liverpool ALP sets. Dave Evans said, Frank, you hooked me up on the Beatles from Liverpool. Very nice, my friend. So he likes it too.
He bought one from me. Yeah. Quite an audiophile pressing box set. All recuts pretty much by Harry T. Moss in the late 1970s.
Uncle Paul's here, the Playhouse is here.
Uncle Paul, let's show some cards. Uncle Paul's.
I know it probably won't let you go to it, but
Well,
I was going to see if it would do it.
And Mikey Arugula, you should have your cards in the mail by now, I would think.
He said he got it when he said he got that box. Remember
Yeah.
he told me the other day he got the
Yeah.
box. So
Yeah.
the other package I sent out, I just didn't send the tracking number yesterday because of the game, but I do have the tracking number and I can give you Mikey.
Farm Aid is the 40th anniversary of Farm Aid tonight in Minneapolis. Eric Burden was on there this afternoon. Steve Earle, Billy Strings, Dave Matthews. And then we had John Mellencamp, Bob Dylan, Neil Young, and the Chrome Hearts, and Willie Nelson. I hope that John Mellencamp didn't get mad at one of the audience and threatened to play a 30-second version of Jack and Diane and walk off like he did there on a YouTube video. That's a good way to get a crowd upset. Only John Mellencamp has that kind of nerve to do something like that. Spotify this today, Jealous Type by Doja Cat is number 1. Back to Friends by Sombra is number 3. And Sombra also has a song called 12 to 12 that's going in the top 10. Uncle Paul's favorite, Sabrina Carpenter's number 4 with Tears. My favorite, Ravine Lene, is number 6 with Love Me Not. Chapel is at number 7 still with The Subway. And on the UK charts, Ed Sheeran has gone straight to number 1 with his new album, Play. Ed Sheeran has had 9 number 1 albums in England. He is in 3rd place of having the most number 1 albums in England. Number 1 and number 2 are tied. The Beatles and Robbie Williams have both had 15 number 1 albums on the UK charts. Can't imagine. Robbie Williams is right up there with the Beatles on number 1 albums.
Danny Golson said, I'm going to the Ashbury Park thing.
All right, we're going to see Daniel there.
And then Greg Fields said he got his BC-13 rarities. Thanks, Frank.
His BC-13.
The
rarity.
that were lost and taken forever.
Yeah. And then Golden is on the Billboard UK single charts is number 1 again from the K-pop Demon Hunters, 7 weeks at number 1. I tried to watch that animated movie the other day. Any of you watch it out there? It's 90 minutes long. And I'm just not used to watching animated movies, although I did like Yellow Submarine. Some other notes. I've been reading the Kenneth Womack book, Dr. Kenneth Womack, Living the Beatles Legend, a chapter or 2 every day. I think I'm up to chapter 5. Did you know that Tony Bramwell was hired by Brian Epstein when he was 16 years old to be Brian Epstein's assistant? And Frida Kelly was hired at 17 to be in charge of the Beatles fan club. So that's pretty amazing.
Uncle Paul said I went to the Apollo 13 in IMAX.
All right. I saw Becoming Led Zeppelin in IMAX, and we saw another one in IMAX, didn't we? No, Dylan wasn't in the IMAX. Becoming. Talked about PB Thal and Harry Mazzy, the man from Portland or Seattle? Portland.
I think Portland's
Portland.
Yeah.
Mazzy, that I met at the Fest for Beatle fans in Chicago. He's doing a Whatnot auction next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. No, it's noon his time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's doing a whatnot auction, and he's going to auction off a Beatles butcher cover, a 1965 Beatles Aladdin box, lunchbox and thermos, his Yellow Submarine lunchbox and thermos from 1968, his Beatle mono box set he has sealed from the recent 2025. And he sent me a message today that there's going to be a lot more than just Beatles. But so he's downsizing some of his collection to pay. He needs to get his deck redone behind his house. So he's going to have a big whatnot auction next Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mazzy. So check that out. I'll be there bidding on it. LPM, that's the local 91.9 station here in Louisville. It's called Louisville Public Media. And they're doing a pledge drive today. And they've been playing songs from 1965 all day long on the local Louisville 91.9 station. And I looked up the top 10 songs of 1965 on the Billboard, the end of the year, the Billboard charts. The number one song for 1965, if you can believe this, was Wooly Bully by Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. Number 2 was I Can't Help Myself by the Four Tops. Number 3, I Can't Get No Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones. Number 4, You Were On My Mind by the Wee Five. Number 5, You've Lost That Loving Feeling by the Righteous Brothers. Number 6, Downtown by Petula Clark. Number 7, the Beatles were in there. What song was number 7 on the top songs of 1965? That goes into my trivia question contest. Help. Number 8, Herman Hermits was selling records like crazy in 1965.
Paul said help, so he knew it.
Can't You Hear My Heartbeat? Number 9 was Crying in the Chapel by Elvis Presley. And number 10 was My Girl by the Temptations.
Polly said 1965. Great stuff.
Yep, great stuff. Wooly Bully was the top of the heap. Must have sold a bunch of records. All right, we got enough to do this trivia contest.
Yeah.
Trivia contest. And you win this shirt made by Polly of T-Shirt Express, an extra large size. 3 questions concerning the movie Help. Here we go. Number 1. What was the original title of the Help movie? Your questions your answers all got to be in the same message to win. What was the original title of the Help movie? Number 2, who played the guitar, the lead guitar bit on the James Bond beginning of the Help that's on the USA soundtrack album only? A session musician from England played the guitar on the James Bond beginning. What was his name? Number 3, in the end credits, who is dedicated to the memory of in the end credits of the movie? Who do they dedicate to the memory of at the very end of the movie? Repeat it one more time. Number 1, what was the original title of the Help movie before the title Help? Number 2, who played the guitar on the James Bond beginning of the Help song on the USA soundtrack album? Number 3, in the end credits, who is dedicated to the memory of at the very end of the movie?
Only Polly's answered so far.
We'll give it to Polly.
Man, that was quick.
She put the sewing machine, and that's who Elias Howell was. Way to go, Polly Hewitt. You are our winner.
Great job. That was quick.
That's the first time I think you might have won one of our contests. Great job. What was the original title of the Help movie, Eight Arms to Hold You? Who played the guitar on the James Bond beginning of the Help song? And that was Vic Flick. I talked about him on a past live stream. And in the credits, who is dedicated to the memory of was Elias Howe, the inventor of the sewing Singer sewing machine.
Second, because he did the name, but like you say, the sewing machine, and then T-shirt said he knew the answer but didn't want to win.
All right. Way to go, Polly. Good job. That's an extra large.
Great job.
All right, let's show some things. I got some 12-inch singles in from the 80s. Got these two Smiths albums in. Did this with Kevin Records. We won a big auction. Kevin Records. And I got these two Smiths albums from the 80s. The Smiths, Strange Ways, Here We Come. And Louder Than Bombs. That's supposed to be a pretty valuable album. Louder Than Bombs. And Morrissey is in the news because he had to cancel some gigs, some concerts, because there's been some death threats against Morrissey. So to be safe, the audience and everything, they canceled several shows of Morrissey. I'm not sure what country it's in. Maybe one of you out there will know. And then these 12-inch singles. Then I did a short on my favorite, the UK BBC Library copy of Everything Counts by Depeche Mode. And I had all these figured out, but I'm probably lost some anyway. So let's just show these real quick. That's a UK. This is a Canada. Strange Love by Depeche Mode. I told you I got to see Depeche Mode from the 4th row center, which was a perfect seat to have at River Bend in the late 1980s, early 1990s, and I got to see Depeche Mode and orchestra maneuvers in the dark backstage. This is one of my favorite 12-inch records, Depeche Mode, Behind the Wheel with Route 66. Another dance song from the 1982, The Safety Dance. This is a UK pressing. These 12-inch records, you know, they're making 45 RPM reissues. Well, these 12-inch records had that way back in the 80s. Audiophile sound. I saw the Alarm and got their autographs. I think the lead singer passed away a few years ago. That's got the stand on it. Wild Thing by X. That's the Wild Thing by Chip Taylor. That's the song we know from the Trogs. So X did a 12-inch version of Wild Thing. And I guess I'll show this one quick because the girl's kind of young. Bow Wow Wow, I Want Candy. I always like that song. Rock Me Amadeus. This is the this is the USA version of Rock Me Amadeus, the extended version. And lastly, I got another Morrissey, a Ouija board. So those are my 12-inch singles that I got in. I have a another one, Tainted Love. If you remember who did Tainted Love, Soft Sale, but I couldn't find it at the moment. I always liked that 12-inch version of Tainted Love. Talking about my British BBC library, these are going to be tough to get now because you can't. It's real tough to buy anything from England now, thanks to the new duty fees and tariffs. But I'll hold on to this. I worked out today on my mini trampoline listening to Paul McCartney's What would you call this? A Sgt. Pepper of the 70s. Band on the Run. Sgt. Pepper was 1967. Band on the Run was 1973. He sure proved the critics wrong when he released this album, Band on the Run.
So I don't know if this is like a real question or just whatever. Someone's asking what's your favorite Bob Dylan album.
Favorite Bob Dylan album would have to be Blonde on Blonde, 1966. What's your favorite? I love the Absolutely Sweet Marie, Rainy Day Woman, number 12 and 35, and I Want You is on here, and Leopard Skin Pillbox Hat, Just Like a Woman. Heck of an album. What's your favorite Bob Dylan album? All right, boy, that book.
Time Out of Mind.
Oh, Time Out of Mind. That's a later. Isn't that from the? Is that from the '80s or that's later on? All right, got a White Album here. Got a Yellow Submarine. Got my mini guitar. I'll show you one more time. Mikey know the answer to this. Mikey Arugula, who's got I think the best collection of this in the world? You interviewed him. Pat Graham from London, England. This is my junior guitar made by Mastro Industries. Kind of wore a little bit, got the original strings on there. But Pat Graham's got a huge collection of all the sizes, the banjo and everything.
You said was
everything's in the pretty much in the original boxes it was sold in. He's got to have the best collection in the world. Beatles toy guitars.
T-Shirt Express said, Travis, I'm going to send a prize box soon. So I guess he's sending you a prize box.
All right. We're down to a couple, I think we have like 4 or 5 of our,
this one.
Of the roll-up STICKERMANIA shirts. I told PB Thal on the chat last night on his live stream that my name, because they couldn't understand why hype stickers are worth so much money, and I explained that I've sold a rubber sole and a revolver hype stickers on the shrink for over $500 a piece, and Bobby Gass said collectors are just crazy, but that hype sticker that Harry's Music Room has for that Chicken of the Sea tuna is a $1,000 hype sticker. This has got a hype sticker from 1991, a sealed limited edition White Album. I think Gregory Fios sold a whole collection of these limited edition Beatle albums from 1991. And some people say some of these are not digital on these 1991. Some of them are analog pressings. All right. My Yellow Submarine, 3-ring.
1995 is what Greg Field said.
That was a 1991, but. The Beatles photo book, 1968. Original Yellow Submarine. It's a smaller than the Beatles 3-ring notebook binder. See if it still opens up. Yep, still works. All right, we talked about the guitar. Most things I've talked about. Talked about the black light poster I got from the retired DJ on the East Coast. Got a couple other of his posters to show tonight.
Just those you showed me. Just
Got this yellow Beatles poster, calendar poster from 1979.
Go down a little on the top.
Everybody was hoping the Beatles were going to get back together at this time, 1979. And we got this Rolling Stones, not the best shape, but it's pretty rare. The picture like when they were promoting Sticky Fingers. I think it's a 1975 poster. A young Mick Taylor there, in with a bunch.
Lower it down a little bit, but careful, because this thing's really...
Yeah, it's fragile.
Fragile, it will rip.
Got that from the retired DJ on the East Coast, and we may see him at the... Where's my Fab 4? At the everything, fab4fest.com. Well, that's how you get a hold of the information. The Beatles are going to have a fest on the Beatles Rubber Soul. And I'm going to present a display of butcher covers. And I showed all my rubber soles. I found a couple other rubber soles the other day. November 6th to the 8th at Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Paint by numbers are all gone, right?
Paint by numbers, the last one, Ringo Starr, went out in the mail. They are all gone and sold and been shipped out. So at this fest, put on by Dr. Kenneth Womack, that book one more time, is going to have the Weaklings there. And the Weaklings are going to perform with Max Weinberg and Jake Clemens from the Bruce Springsteen's backup band, the E Street Band, and the young group that's real good, the Black Ties. I think they lived on the East Coast. They're going to be there. Bruce Spicer, the book.
He said Greg got a new deal for you. What in the heck? It's a Spicer book.
That's it. The Beatles for sale. I don't have any of the expensive books, but I got some coming in from an auction. The Beatles on Capitol Records and the Beatles on Swan Records. So next week I'll have some more Bruce Spicer books that I won in an auction. And I told you Jamie Bernstein, daughter of Leonard Bernstein, is going to be there, a presenter. And there's many other special guests, including me and Mikey Arugula at the Berkeley Oceanfront Hotel, November 6th through the 8th. So if you got a chance, come there and say hi to me and Mikey.
Patricia said, do you know, is the Asbury Park Beatles thing the first time they have done it? I believe so, right?
I believe Mikey would know better than I do, but I think this is the first time that Kenneth Womack has put on a convention. What's the answer there, Mikey? Is this the first one? So this is my BC Beatles collection, BC 13 from France. It sold for $500, and I'm delivering it to my local buyer, Dave, tomorrow. I showed all the contents before, so I won't take it, but that's a sharp looking BC 13 from 1980 in France.
So he said, yeah, so this will be the first time.
So this is the first everything Fab 4 Fest that's going to be put on, and it's concentrating on Rubber Soul, the 60th anniversary of Rubber Soul, that they didn't release a box set this year. I found my...
So you want to be at the first one, show up. Come join.
That's my USA copy. I found a German copy the other day. That's my UK...
Yeah, Greg Field wants to know if that has Randy's in it.
Yes. So let's show it again. The Rarities is the France copy. It's the very last album in the box. But I did find a German pressing, 72 prefix of, that's what this cover is here, of Rubber Soul, and it's got the Odeon trademark down there, which the other Rubber Souls don't have.
There it is.
Rarities, this is how France put it out in 1980. With the butcher cover, unairbrushed slick there in the middle. You can even see a pair of false teeth on the floor. So the comparison between that and this.
Make sure I got on.
So that's the unairbrushed photo, and then that's the finished slick that was released in LA. You can see this is a lot more, they added a lot more vivid, the original butcher cover, than the photo. Pretty big difference.
Thomas Quick said on November 6th, I will be seeing Paul McCartney in Nashville.
Nashville. The two leg guys are going to be, Andy and Tom are going to be in Nashville. You better say hi to them, Thomas Group.
Great Field one, the blue rarity. No, don't come with the blue rarity in that one. And then Little Beer's Corner said maybe they will be an extension of continuing the fest.
That's up in the air whether Mark Lapidus is going to continue the fest or not.
Well, she's saying that maybe they're going to use
Oh, maybe Dr. Yeah, because he's got the same guest. Maybe Dr. Kenneth Womack is going to take over the reins. We'll see. Mikey knows more about behind the stories than I do. This is the Free as a Bird that's coming out in the remix here shortly. This is the original 1995 release of Free as a Bird. The original price was $2.99. It's got Free as a Bird on the A side, and on the B side it's got Christmas Time is Here Again. Don't have too much else to show tonight. We got about 5 more minutes. The mail is kind of slow at the moment, and I got something damaged that somebody got a package that I'm going to have to get a refund from the USPS Postal Service. So sometimes they're rough on the packages. What's your experience in the mail that you get out there? I think I better stick with FedEx as much as I can. All right, what else do we have to show?
Sticker Kid, he's at my house playing with my kids. I tried to get him out of here because he's been here for a couple days. He needed to get out and do something.
So those are the 2014 monos.
Greg Field said Paul McCartney's here in Santa Barbara. What is it, Barrett? How do you say that? Barbara this week, I guess.
I'm not going to say it right now either.
I know. I'm not saying it right.
California.
Yeah.
South of LA, I'm pretty sure. Got Abbey Road, UK, first pressing. It doesn't have the misaligned Apple. But the laminated covers in England sure are more striking in the picture than the USA copies. Beatles for sale for Mikey. Mikey, have you ever listened to Beatle Don's -1, 2-cup stereo? He has a Beatles for sale. And 2014, the original issues of Rubber Soul and Revolver. Both of these are still factory sealed.
Santa Barbara is north of LA, minutes away from Ventura County.
I've been to Ventura County. I went to Monterey and I walked around the Monterey Festival, the fairgrounds, so I could see the stage where the Who and Jimi Hendrix played on. And then we went to the small town of Carmel. How do you say it? Caramel, where at the time Clint Eastwood was the mayor.
When you did the Beatles for sale, he said, Mikey said, not that again. I'm sure that's what he meant.
Yeah.
And then the Ove, I think he did for the Abbey Road. He liked the way.
Magical Mystery Tour is going to get harder and harder to find.
Carmel.
Carmel. Yep. When I was there in the early 1990s, Clint Eastwood was the mayor of the town. Pretty cool town, a small town. So we traveled in a car from LA to San Francisco. My grandmother and my uncle lived in San Francisco, and we visited them in the early 1990s. Magical Mystery Tour, the German version from 1977. Andrew from Polygram Auction says this is the best stereo audiophile pressing that exists in the world of any Beatles album. I got a hold of a Hey Jude military export from 1971, and the big difference on Hey Jude is that in London they did that album, they cut it from the original master tapes at Abbey Road Studios, and Andrew from Polygram Auction says that 1971 pressing of Hey Jude is the best sounding Hey Jude pressing that exists in the world, and I'll be getting that in the next week. That's about all I have.
Theo said Hogs Brew Inn was Clint's restaurant there. I guess that's where he was always at. And Mikey said deer out of control in Carmel.
They're what?
Out of control. I guess there's deer everywhere.
Oh, deer. So. Didn't know that. All right. Thanks for everybody tuning in tonight.
Make sure you give us a like, please. We appreciate it.
And then the first week of October, me and Mikey Arugula will do another Every Little Thing Beatles episode number 12. Maybe we can get Tom from Beatles Pro to be a special guest on
Greg Field said, Mr. Moonlight, sing along, everybody.
Mr. Moonlight. All right. Thanks a lot. See ya.